I truly can feel inside me that I am being authentic, that I'm being who I'm meant to be here. And that essentially is the feeling that I was searching for so long in my life. That feeling of like, yes, I'm meant for this, and this is what I'm supposed to be doing here, that I just couldn't find in my life previously and didn't know how to find for such a long time. Hey there, lovely. If you're a driven and highly ambitious woman who has checked all the boxes, followed all the rules, only to realize you don't actually feel fulfilled or you don't feel like you're living your purpose, then you are absolutely in the right place. My name is Melissa Chavis. I'm an intuitive mindset coach, and I am absolutely obsessed with helping you discover your true purpose, that thing you were put here on this earth to do, so that you can live the most fulfilling and abundant life possible. Hey there, beautiful. Welcome back to another episode of the Authentic Awakening podcast. I am over here celebrating because this is officially my 30th episode of this show. And it just feels really, really great to know that I've made it this far on this journey. I realized that while I've done several episodes now related to human design and certain aspects of human design, I haven't actually done an overview of what is human design and why does it matter. So today I thought I would explain what human design is, where it came from, and why I think it's important to understand your human design chart. So, what is human design? It is a part spiritual, part science system that was developed in 1987. So, for some of us, that is during our lifetime. So, this is a relatively new system by a man named Ra Aruhu. It combines elements of the I Ching, astrology, the chakra system, and the Kabbalistic tree of life. The sole purpose of the human design system is to help you uncover exactly who you came here to be in this human life. So, I fully believe that we are all spiritual beings here on this planet having a human experience. And this system helps us to sort out those human aspects of ourselves. Now, if you've been following along here for any period of time, you know that my whole goal with this channel and my coaching program is to help women come back to themselves and live a life that is truly fulfilling and joyful. This is exactly why I love using human design inside my coaching program. The whole system is meant to help you uncover who you truly are at your core and how you're meant to move through life in the most aligned way possible, which ultimately is what so many of us are craving, right? If you're here watching this right now, you probably are craving a life that feels fulfilling, that just feels aligned, where you just know, yes, this is what I'm meant to be doing here. I think on a certain level, we all are trying to know ourselves better and understand ourselves at this like deep core level so that we can live a life that is truly authentic to us. And what has been so amazing in my experience of using human design in my coaching program is that every time I go over a human design chart with one of my clients, or literally just anybody I know, because of course I've told everybody I know about human design, there are just these moments where you can see this recognition in people and this validation, this sort of permission to truly recognize themselves and see themselves for who they truly are and know that these things that feel natural for them, these ways of being that feel natural for them, truly are who they are. It's truly natural for them to want to move through life in these specific ways. And so to get this acknowledgement, this validation that everything that they've been feeling internally is how they're meant to be, is truly them. And I just absolutely love seeing people kind of finally acknowledge and recognize who they truly are. Because I think at some core level, most of us, we know deep down how we're meant to move through life, but we've just been told by the people around us and society in general that we need to move through life in a certain way and that we need to do things a certain way. We need to behave in a certain way. And to get this validation and this permission to actually do things in a way that feels right for you and that is authentic to you feels so comforting. And it just feels really, really good inside to finally acknowledge and understand that we are who we are and we're meant to be that way. So your chart provides essentially this clarity that you've been seeking and a level of permission to actually be who you really are. It can help you to let go of all of the shoulds that we tell ourselves and that we hear from the people around us, and instead acknowledge and accept just who we truly are instead of who we think that we should be. The amazing part of human design is that it is truly meant to showcase our uniqueness as individuals as well. So I know that there are a lot of categorization systems out there that essentially try to fit all humans into like these 5 or 10 possible profiles or these 5 or 10 possible combinations of personality types. And in my history of being in human resources, I had a lot of experience with a lot of those categorization systems. And I think that they're helpful in a lot of ways in helping us know how to kind of relate to other people and how to work with other people, essentially, in the workplace. But at the same time, there were always aspects of those systems that just didn't really feel aligned for me. And I got the sense for a lot of people that there were certain aspects of it that's like, yeah, I mean, I guess I can kind of see that, but not really resonating with me all that well. And I think it was just because, they're so fixed and there are certain parameters to them, and there are only so many possibilities for categorization, right? But with human design, because of how complex this system is and how deep your chart really goes, there are an estimated 2 billion different combinations, or I guess I should say 2 billion different possible human design charts. Now, I did some research, I looked this up on the web, and I've heard multiple people say that it's about 2 billion, but I also saw several articles that referenced in the trillions. And so I am not a mathematician. I do not know how to do this math myself, but we're going to go sort of on the more conservative side. And let's just say that there are 2 billion possible combinations. So that shows you sort of the complexity of this system and how each individual chart is so unique. And at the same time, because there are certain core aspects of your chart that you likely share with other people, it also points out some of the similarities and some of the parts of ourselves that we do share with other people because we know that certain people are alike in certain ways and that we do have these commonalities among us. And so it highlights your uniqueness while at the same time recognizing that we are like other people. And I think that is also a good thing for us as humans because we like to have these commonalities among us and we like to relate to one another in that way. So That is probably my favorite aspect of human design is the fact that, it shows our uniqueness, but also points out some of the commonalities that we all share among us. As I mentioned, your human design chart goes very, very deep into very minute aspects of your personality and who you came here to be. And I think that all of it is very valuable. However, it would take some time to truly fully understand every single aspect of your chart. Now, if you love human design and you want to dive in that deep, as I have, then by all means, go for it. But my goal here today is to kind of give you sort of a high level overview of what human design is and how it can actually be helpful for you if you are someone who is trying to learn how to be more authentic and truly learn more about and understand who you are as an individual at your core. So, in my experience, there are certain core aspects of your chart that I feel are most helpful in creating more alignment in your life. And these are the aspects to focus on if you're just getting started and you're truly wanting to just use this as a tool to help you create that alignment and to essentially create more flow and ease in your life and to understand more about yourself and who you are as a unique individual. If you're just starting out and you're just getting your feet wet as far as human design is concerned, I would start with these pieces of your chart. So the first is your energy type. And your energy type is essentially meant to tell you how your energy flows and how you can best use your unique energy in your life. There are 5 main energy types, and those are generator, manifestor, manifesting generator, which, yes, is a combination of the first two, projector, and reflector. Now, I am not going to go into detail here on each of these 5 types, but I actually do have an episode where I go more in depth on each of the 5 energy types. So I'm going to link that here in the details so that you can go and watch or listen to that episode if you want to learn more about each of the 5 energy types. The next piece of your chart that I recommend looking at is your strategy. Now, your strategy shows you how you're meant to make things happen or move your life in the right direction. There are 4 different strategies in human design, and they correspond to your energy type. So the first strategy is responding. This is the strategy for all generators and manifesting generators. The next is being invited, which is the strategy for projectors. The next is informing, which is the strategy for manifestors. And the final strategy is being carried, which is the strategy for all reflectors. Again, I'm not going to go into super detail here, but I do also have an episode on strategy. So I will link that in the description for you here. Then we have authority. Your authority, essentially, I kind of equate it to your own intuition or your own inner knowing. It is essentially how you know in your body what is the right decision for you. So there are 7 different authorities, and these can each apply to the various energy types. Some are specific to a certain energy type, but in general, they don't always correspond to a certain energy type. So the 7 authorities are emotional, sacral, splenic, G center, ego, mental, and lunar. Now, again, I'm not going to go into detail on every single authority here, but I also have an episode dedicated specifically to human design authority. And as I mentioned previously, I will link that here for you in case you would like to go and learn more about each of these 7 authorities. The final aspect of your chart that I recommend looking at and understanding and getting to know more about, if you are trying to kind of create more alignment in your life and really understand and learn more about yourself, is your profile. Now, your profile is meant to tell you more about kind of your persona or your personality. And this consists of 2 numbers, with the first number representing your inner self or how you see yourself, and the second number representing more of like the way that you show up externally to the people around you. And then when you combine these 2 numbers, you essentially get this balanced view of your overall personality, how you see yourself and how others around you see you. As we know, generally, we see ourselves differently than the people around us. So this can be incredibly helpful in giving you that perspective and allowing you to maybe understand better how others around you might see you versus how you see yourself and how you maybe think that you're showing up to the people around you. I actually don't have an episode dedicated specifically to human design profiles, but if that's something that you would like me to dig into a little bit more, I definitely would love to do an episode on that. So let me know if that's something that you would like to hear more about, because definitely something I could dig further into here. So in my experience, when you understand and lean into these aspects of your chart, it can truly be life-changing. Like, these aspects that I just covered today can provide so much insight into who you truly came here to be and how you are meant to move through life in the most aligned, easeful way possible. And truly in a way that will feel incredibly fulfilling for you and will feel like your life has purpose. I have been interested in human design long enough and have implemented these things in my life long enough to know that truly, when I'm leaning in and I am focusing on my human design chart and the way that I'm meant to move through life, I feel a difference. I truly can feel inside me that I am being authentic, that I'm being who I'm meant to be here. And that essentially is the feeling that I was searching for so long in my life. That feeling of like, yes, I'm meant for this, and this is what I'm supposed to be doing here, that I just couldn't find in my life previously and didn't know how to find for such a long time. But learning about my human design chart and uncovering all these various aspects of myself has truly, truly helped me find my way and figure out how to really move through life in this way that feels different for me, that feels better for me. So I truly believe that following the guidance of your chart can lead to more fulfillment in life and a sense of purpose and joy like you've probably never felt before. So if that is what you were looking for, if you've gotten to a point in your life where you realize that the life you're currently living doesn't truly feel aligned for you and maybe even feels more like someone else's dream life, I highly recommend learning about your human design chart. And if you're interested, I do offer a 30-minute personalized human design chart review where we will go over the 4 aspects I touched on today and how you can use those to inform you and move your life forward in a more aligned and fulfilling way. I will include the link in the description here if you want to check that out. So hopefully this has been helpful and provides some clarity for anyone who is curious about human design and wondering what it is, how it's meant to help you, or why I think that it is one of the most amazing categorization systems I've ever come across. But I'd love to hear from you. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. And if you have any ideas for future episodes or any questions about human design that I could answer here on this show, I would absolutely love to hear from you. So I hope you have an amazing week, and I hope to see you back here, same time next week. That's it for another episode of the Authentic Awakening podcast. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you found it helpful, I'd love to hear from you. You can do that by liking and subscribing to my YouTube channel or rating and reviewing the podcast wherever you're listening.